Night didn't fall on the surface anymore. It simply deepened. The sky above Voax was a permanent bruise, where the clouds thinned enough to show the dead sun behind them. The Umbreon moved through the ruins with the quiet certainty of something born from shadow. His rings glowed faintly, not enough to give him away, just enough to keep him from walking into the jagged metal of collapsed towers. He had stopped thinking of the ruins as a city long ago. Cities had voices. Cities had life. This place had only wind and machines. Voax paused atop a broken highway overpass, ears swiveling. The air tasted of rust and ozone. Somewhere far off, a drone whirred its empty patrol route, its searchlight sweeping across nothing. He watched it pass, then continued on, paused silent against the cracked concrete. He didn't know why he kept moving. Habit, maybe. Instinct. Hope, though he'd never admit it. Then, a flicker. A pinprick of red in the distance. Voax froze. His breath caught in his throat. It wasn't the harsh white of a drone, not the cold blue of a turret sensor. This was softer, pulsing, alive. His chest tightened. He didn't dare blink, afraid it would vanish, but the red light pulsed again, faint but steady, calling him. Voax ran. He darted between rusted vehicles, leapt over fallen beams, slid down a slope. The light dipped behind a collapsed structure, and he followed, heart pounding with something dangerously close to joy. He reached the base of an old industrial tower, its metal frame twisted like a skeleton. The red glow seeped from a crack in the ground where the earth had split open long ago, a tunnel. Voax hesitated only a moment before slipping inside. The air grew colder as he descended. The walls hummed with distant machinery. His paws clicked against metal flooring now, echoing faintly. The red light was close. He could feel it. He rounded a corner and stopped dead. The light wasn't a Pokémon. It wasn't alive at all. It was a machine, small, spherical, hovering inches above the ground. Its single red eye blinked in a slow, steady rhythm. Wires dangled from its underside like roots torn from soil. Voax's ears flattened. Disappointment hit him harder than he expected. He stepped closer, sniffing cautiously. The machine didn't react. It simply hovered, blinking, as if waiting for a command that would never come. Then something deeper in the tunnel shifted. A heavy clank. A grinding of gears. A low, mechanical groan. Voax backed away just as a massive shape unfolded from the wall. An assembly rig long abandoned, its mechanical arm twitching awake. The hand at its end, 5 metal claws, flexed experimentally, scraping sparks against the floor. Its red sensors locked onto him. Voax bolted. The hand lunged, smashing into the ground where he'd stood. Dust exploded upward. He sprinted down the corridor, the machine tearing through pipes and cables behind him. The claws swiped again, catching his hind leg just enough to send him tumbling. He scrambled up, limping, breath ragged. The hand rose above him, like a falling star. Voax leapt sideways. The impact shattered the walkway. Metal screamed. The floor gave way. Voax fell. He hit something hard, pain flaring through his ribs, then rolled onto a narrow metal pipe suspended over a black abyss. He lay there, gasping, the world spinning. Above him, the mechanical hand peered over the broken edge, searching. But the pipe was too deep, too narrow. After a moment, the machine retracted, its mechanics fading into the distance. Silence returned. Voax forced himself upright, wincing. The pipe trembled under his weight. Below it, faint lights flickered, warm, golden, alive. And beneath those lights, Voices. Voax's breath hitched. His rings brightened involuntarily. He wasn't alone. Not anymore. The pipe swayed under Voax's weight, groaning softly with every breath he took. His ribs ached, and his hind leg throbbed where the machine had clipped him, but none of that mattered. There were voices down here. The voices drifted upward again, muffled, distant, but undeniably organic. He had imagined this moment 1,000 times. He had never believed it would actually happen. Carefully, he lowered himself onto a support beam, then another, climbing deeper into the chasm. The air warmed as he descended, carrying scents he hadn't smelled in years: fur, food, electricity, life. The tunnel at the bottom was wide enough for several Pokémon to walk side by side. Faint lights lined the walls, glowing crystals, flickering lanterns, and strange bioluminescent fungi that pulsed like breathing lungs. Voax's heart hammered. He followed the sound. As he walked, the walls shifted from raw metal to carved stone, then to reinforced plating patched with scavenged parts. The air buzzed with energy, the faint hum of generators, the soft crackle of electricity. Then the tunnel opened. Voax froze. Before him stretched an entire city carved into the underground cavern, tiered platforms, bridges of metal and stone, glowing signs, bustling walkways. Pokémon of every shape and size moved through the streets, talking, trading, laughing, living. A civilization hidden beneath the dead world above. Voax's breath caught. His rings brightened in awe. A nearby Machoke carrying a crate stopped mid-step, staring at him. A pair of Pichu tugging a cart dropped the handle. A Noctowl perched on a railing swiveled its head sharply, eyes widening. Whispers rippled outward like a shockwave. Is that a surface Pokémon? No way. Look at his rings, blue. Dozens of eyes fixed on him. Some fearful, some hopeful. Voax took a step back, ears flattening. He wasn't used to being seen, let alone noticed. Then the crowd parted. A Raichu stepped forward, broad-shouldered, scarred, and radiating authority. His lightning bolt tail had a jagged chip near the tip, and sparks flickered along its edge like restless fire. His gaze locked onto Voax with surgical precision. You, the Raichu said, voice low and steady, state your name. Voax swallowed. Voax. The Raichu studied him, his blue rings, his yellow eyes, the dust and bruises from the fall. I am Striker, he said, leader of Haven Sector. The name fit him, sharp, decisive, dangerous. Striker circled Voax once, tail crackling softly. You came from above. It wasn't a question. Voax hesitated. Yes. A murmur swept through the crowd. Excitement, disbelief, fear. Striker's eyes narrowed. Tell me, Voax, what does the surface look like now? Voax's chest tightened. He remembered the ruins. The silence. The dead sky. He remembered believing he was the last living thing left. He struggled for the right word. Empty. The crowd deflated. Hope evaporated like steam. A few Pokémon turned away. Others muttered bitterly. Some simply stared at the ground. Striker didn't move. His expression didn't change. But something in his eyes sharpened. Empty, he repeated quietly, but not unreachable. Voax blinked. What? Striker stepped closer, lowering his voice so only Voax could hear. There are legends, he said, of a sanctuary on the surface, a place untouched by the great tragedy, a place where life still thrives. Voax shook his head. I've never seen anything like that. Stryker smiled, a thin, dangerous smile. That only means you haven't looked in the right place. He turned to the crowd, raising his voice. Everyone, listen well, the surface can be reached. This Umbreon is proof, and now that we know the path exists. He pointed at Voax. He will take us there. The crowd erupted. Fear, excitement, arguments, cheers. Voax's stomach dropped. I never said, he began. Stryker cut him off with a look that could split stone. You survived the machines. You found your way down here. You carry the colors of the night sky itself. His gaze flicked to Voax's blue rings. You were meant for this. Voax's pulse pounded in his ears. He had spent his whole life alone. Now an entire city was looking at him like a savior. And he wasn't sure he could save anyone. Not even himself.